Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of 20 Men to Win, and this episode is based on the importance of CS. And I kind of want to go over a couple of things with this, and we'll go ahead and start things off real quick, just talking about this game I'm actually showing you real quick. And in this game I'm playing Mordekaiser, and I'm against an Annie in middle. It's not ranked, just playing a game with some friends, and you'll see a Blitzcrank come in here in a second and actually gank me. And this is kind of one thing that really frustrates me about playing, top lane or mid lane is where, you get ganked early. As you see here, she flashes in, gets a stun, hits the ignite, and then Blitz just comes in and power fists me into the sky, and I die. And dying before 5, 8 minutes into the game is really bad. It really sets you far behind, especially where the lane is. Luckily, my lane was pushed out far enough that I could get back to lane, not miss out on too much CS. But we see here, so I die. And this is a crucial point for you when you're playing. You need to realize that, most of the time when you're 0 and 1 or something like that, you're a kill behind your lane. You can kind of come back from that. You have the ability to actually win a fight 1-on-1, just depending on your ELO, kind of thing. Otherwise, if you get farther behind than that, which I end up getting farther behind, um, you kind of need to focus on your farm. You have to focus a lot on it because let's just go over some of the numbers real quick. So you have siege minions. They come once every 3 waves. They're worth 27 gold, and they also gain an extra gold worth of value every 3 minutes. So the longer the game goes on, the more they're worth too. We have melee minions that are worth 22 gold and increase in half a gold every 3 minutes. We have caster minions that are worth 16 gold and increase by half a gold every 3 minutes as well. So, looking at a kill you get, pretty much if they're both even, you get about 300 gold per kill, and, that's about 20 CS, depending on where the game is. And to really catch back up, you need to get as much CS as possible. And as you see, as Mordekaiser here, I do it quite a bit. He's one of the champions middle that's really easy to do this with. You have Morgana, you have Mordekaiser who can do this, where you, well, you see me get killed again right here, which I go down to 1 and 2, but you go around and you take, let me just show you, you take these camps. You take the Wraith camp, you take your Wraith camp, their Wraith camp, and you can even go one step farther if you really need to. You can always get your wolves, depending on where your jungler is. You can even go up and get double golems and then go for a gank right after. And it really depends on who your jungler is. I have an Alistar jungle, so he's kind of one of those junglers where he needs to snowball early in the game and kind of take that momentum through the rest of the game. So you see right here, I have my Hextech gun, or revolver, sorry. I take my race, and I keep taking him every cooldown that I can. And that just allows me to keep up with Annie. I mean, she has 1 kill ahead of me. So she's at least 300 gold with an assist, so probably 400 or 500 gold ahead of me minimum, just based off kills. But we also know that I have, let's see, 54 CS compared to her 42. So in terms of gold, I'm a little bit behind, but I'm keeping up in CS. And you'll see throughout this game that it actually increases even farther. I die again, I'm 1 and 4. I'm kind of frustrated, but I'm not really too worried. It's not a ranked game, so I focus on farming a lot. And I wish I could skip farther ahead right now to show you, but towards the end of this game, I end up going about... Let me just go and skip this real quick, and we'll cut back to it in a second. Okay, now we're back, and as you see here, I'm 7-4 and 2. I'm up to 294 CS, which I'm leading my team by leaps and bounds, compared to this Annie with 155. So we're even on kills. I have a couple more deaths than she does. She has more assists than I do, but I have, a good 150 more CS, which equates to a ridiculous amount of gold, and gives me that lead that I need. Helps me catch back up with the game. And this kind of is one thing you have to pay attention to when you're, or depending on your ELO, is if you're gonna just sit there and farm and get CS and not try to go for like a kill way to get back in, not try to get kills in mid, kills in bot, kills in top, and just gonna try to farm. Depending on your ELO, it's really gonna affect things differently. For instance, the lower ELO you are, if your mid is roaming, or sorry, their mid is roaming, which Annie did roam a little bit. She did go down to bottom, get a couple kills. They have to pay attention to that. And the higher elo you get, people will realize that. They'll see mids missing and they'll play a little more passive, and it works out. But the lower elo, they're just gonna blame oh, why did you come down with Annie kind of thing, and it's kind of frustrating. But it's kind of one of those things that you have to pay attention to. Not as a mid player, but even a bot player or top player, is just notice what disadvantage people are having. What kind of hard time are they having. Like I was 1 and 4, I need to just farm and catch back up. So top plays a little passive, bot plays a little passive, and it helps me get back in the game kind of thing. And we actually do end up winning this game. I believe it capped out around actually about 300 something CS, and we ended up winning because of that. I was able to carry the team surprisingly with that much CS. I had a Rylai's, I had a Viscel Scepter, even a Woda just to help out, and because of that, we ended up winning. Alright, welcome back, and this is the next part of what I kind of want to go over with CS, and the importance of it is, Moppush sent me in this replay on this vein, and I believe this is another normal game, because I do see 2 Blitzcranks in here, But what we see is a little bit different. He actually is out CSing his Ashe. He has 7 CS compared to Ashe's 3, and he actually ends up getting a couple kills on her. And what this does is it gives him the huge gold advantage and gives him a huge level advantage. So he's able to actually zone her and keep her under farm for the rest of the game, which is a really big thing. As a bot lane, you're not really able to go around and get more CS unless, they take your tower, and then you're able to freeze your lane where you just sit there and, or do you sit there just last hit? You don't sit there and push your lane back. You just want to keep your lanes pushed up against you as much as possible, and that allows you to farm freely because the other lane is not going to push up into that where they can easily be ganked. The only difference is that your mid and top has to kind of watch out for that kind of thing because there will be a roaming 1 or 2 players on the enemy team. But we see here that she will pick up a kill on Ashe, and that will give her that ability to really deny her any CS. Actually, I want to go and skip ahead real quick, so we got 1 second. Okay, so this is the next part I want to show you, and it's just a little later in the game, about 16 minutes in, and this Vayne Maul Plush is actually 1-1-1. So it's not like he got any extra kills. He did end up dying once to like a 3-4 man gank in bot lane. But take a look at his CS. He's up to 120 CS. His Ashe is at 53 CS, so he has over double that Ashe's CS, which is a good 3 or 4 kills, if depending on the time and stuff like that. But he has such a huge advantage, and because of that, Ashe is completely out of the game for a good period of it. She can't really get back that well. She hasn't pushed that tower down. In fact, Ashe pushed down Maul Plush's tower, which gives Maul Plush the ability to freeze the lane as well. And with that, you can deny even more CS to that Ashe, who's going to be forced to roam around in their own jungle, which puts their jungler behind. It forces her to roam to other lanes, which pushes other lanes behind as well. And it really is detrimental to you if you push down that tower early. You see a lot of people who, if they feel like they have their advantage on their lane, what they'll do is, let me show you real quick, what they'll do is they'll actually push the lane to the tower, for instance like this, and what they will do is they just sit back, let the tower kill all of their minions, and they'll just farm the wave that comes in. So what you do here is you deny another wave or 2 to this player that's going to be coming back down, and it's really nice. It's really a thing you'll see in higher ELO, and it works really well in lower ELO, where you'll typically see people try to just push the tower down and start roaming around. That is definitely a good thing as well. It depends on your kind of team comp, what you're running, if it's more of an early game kind of comp, or if it's more of a late game kind of comp. Usually, most of the time, it's really safe to leave the tower up, really low, and just make sure you're denying as much CS by allowing that tower to kill as much of your minions as possible before they get back, kind of thing. And he or she does keep this advantage throughout the rest of the game. You see here, up to 140 CS. Ashe still at 50 CS, not really able to farm. Because she pushed this tower up right here, she is sitting there at her own blue, killing, wolves and stuff like that. She isn't able to farm freely because she can be ganked super easily. As I see right here, she's just forced to stay back, wait for this lane to push back into her tower so she can push right back out. And that's the really bad thing about pushing out a tower early, especially when you're behind. You kind of need that ability to get that CS back. She is, Ashe really is a strong ganker as well. She has that nice arrow, so she can potentially get back in terms of just getting kills. However, she didn't really take that to her advantage. She didn't really go anywhere with that, and it really just caused her to lose this game. Even though there are up a lot of kills, she's down over 100 CS, almost 100 CS. So, and the last thing is I want to go over is just remember how much gold or how much minions are actually worth. Siege minions 27 gold, increase over time. Melee minions 22 gold. Caster minions 16 gold, and everything just keeps kind of snowballing to a soft kind of enrage on the map where eventually one side will win just based off the minions pushing. But keep that in mind. There's a lot of things you can do to really get back in the game or take your advantage that you have and push it further. There's always one way that you can do something. A level advantage in lane, you can use that to your advantage and push it. You can use that also as well into CS, stuff like that. So really try to use that well. To get better overall in this game, you really need to be able to CS well, and you need to be able to CS under pressure. You really need to kind of, if you're bot lane, you need to get the hang of, when to harass, when to CS kind of thing. It's really kind of a subtle balance between, hitting them as they come in for CS and then you getting a CS kind of thing and trying to balance that out. Even with top lane, which is the hardest lane to CS in, period, just based on, the accessibility to being ganked. They can come out extremely easily, and you're kind of more melee champs usually, where you're going to be in their face. You don't have that range advantage as you're playing like a Kale top or something like that. So keep all this stuff in mind. Try to use it and practice it, and I guarantee you will actually go up in ELO because of that. All right, thanks for watching. And please, 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 if you guys have any replays, please send them in to me. It's really hard to keep doing episodes for this kind of series when I don't have replays coming in. I can't really go out and kind of gather what I need. It'll look really weird if I kind of set things up, which I don't want to. It's got to be kind of all natural. So please send in replays if you have anything that I can, talk about for certain episodes. Like Baron control, dragon control, support plane, top lane, positioning, anything that you have. Just make sure to email me them at bobo.loveyou@gmail.com, and make sure that you put, in the title or in the subject what it's about, and give me like a kind of time frame of when it happens. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.